win for you guys at home. Puts you in first place in the conference standings. First of all, what was that win like for you guys as a program to get that win over Central Washington?
A great win for a number of reasons. Obviously, you're beating one of your top rivals in Central Washington, the team that, as Chris said, when a lot of these younger players or a lot of these seniors came into the program, Central Washington was the top dog and had been for some time. So to be able to beat them on our field was a huge win with so much riding on it. You had two teams that knew what had happened to Western Oregon earlier in the day, so it was clearly a game for the conference lead and a different game than we've been accustomed to. I think for the first time in 5 years, we won a game scoring 2 touchdowns or less, and so truly a defensive battle, and a lot of credit to our defense for getting it done and stopping Central when they had to.
Let's talk more about that defense. Last time you guys played Central, they put up 31 points, and this one, defensive struggle, they put points on the board for you guys. And you've said many times how much you need this defense to step up and kind of set the tone. Seniors came out big as far as sacks and stuff and the play. What did you see out of this defense specifically?
Well, even in game one, I thought our defense played well. We did not help our defense out in game one. It was a 10-3 ball game early in the third quarter, and then a fake punt, and that got them down inside the red zone. They scored off of that, and that's when it was kind of a snowball type effect. But we have great confidence in our defense players like Chris Peterson, Sean McDonald up front, Tanner Webb in the back, 3 seniors. There, Brian Sampson as well. And then we've added some new pieces, obviously Ryan Moreno, a true freshman, with a huge interception and return, then a big pass breakup on a third down situation later in the game. Jerry Malawia continues to play solid football for us at the safety position, and we're getting some players back. Colton Russi now back at middle linebacker. We're able to work Antonio Salato a little bit at D-line, which helped that rotation quite a bit. So, we've got some pieces back, and we've got some young players that have now gained experience, but we need our defense. We needed it Saturday night. They stepped up. We're going to need it certainly this week against Simon with that offensive attack they have. And it's nice, and from a coaching standpoint, a very comforting feeling to know that if it needs to be a low-scoring type game, a grinded-out type of game, that you have a defense that's going to be able to do its part.
And not to put too much emphasis on a single play from that Saturday game, but Victor Spencer, you talked about needing to get him more involved in the offense. Made that huge first down catch, the yards after the catch, that whole thing. Talk us more through that play and what it was designed to and what it did.
Well, the play is one we've had in the playbook for a long time, and have had some big plays over the years. Doubles ride X in, 125 Z throwback is the play. Actually, 148 rolls Z throwback. We actually changed the play action that we use on it now. But it's designed to take a receiver from one side of the field. In this case, Victor aligned on the right side of our offensive formation and ran a diagonal route across the formation. And the 2 receivers on the opposite side are running a similar type route. So you have a crossing action that takes place in the middle of the field. And off the play fake, we try to get some reaction from the secondary, primarily their safety. We got that, and the Victor came open. So a lot of things have to be done correctly for a play like that to work. It's a long developing play. David Culp did a great job at the center position. He pulls and then worked back. They actually brought some pressure on the play, and it's a play that by design you don't want to run against pressure, but we were able to get to protection. I thought Casey Mintz did a great job of standing in there as things were happening around him and delivered a strike to Victor, and then Victor with the ball in his hands, as we know, can be dynamic, and was able to get it down to the 7-yard line and set us up to and allow us to then score the go-ahead touchdown. So a lot of people doing their job on a play we've had in the book for a long time, but it's always fun when it works.
And speaking of this week's matchup, Simon Fraser, this year they've put up 257 points so far. They lead the conference in points. What does that mean for you as a coach when you see those numbers?
Well, they've put points up against everyone, and they're leading in scoring offense, they're leading in passing offense, they're leading in total offense right now. They've got quarterback Trey Wheeler that has been very effective, had 6 touchdown passes last week at Dixie, and Durant, the receiver, transferred from Nevada Reno, really has stepped into this conference and become a factor quickly. He had 12 receptions a week, this past Saturday, and is closing in on the conference record in a number of receiving categories. The problem is you can't just say, hey, we're going to shut down the pass game because they got Bo Palmer at running back. He has been, it seemed like when Lyndon Rowles was here, it was he and Bo Palmer whose names were always mentioned 1-2 in the rushing lead for the conference. So offensively, they've been able to get it done. They've moved the ball and have scored points against just about everybody. On the same side, defensively, they've given up a lot, and certainly our offense is going to have to help our defense out, because to say we're going to hold a Simon Frazier to 10 points is probably unrealistic. Simon Frazier is going to complete passes. They're going to score some points. We've got to keep them in check and hopefully force them into mistakes at some point. But our offense is going to have to help our defense out. We're going to have to sustain drives. The best way you deal with a potent offense like Simon Frazier has is to keep that offense on the sideline. So if we can keep our offense on the field, sustain drives, and have those drives end in points, that's how you win games like this. So we know the improvement that Simon Frazier has made, not just this year, but over their time in the GNAC. We know that the trip is going to be difficult, and we're going to play in an environment where we're used to big crowds. Here at the Redwood Bowl, we will not have that up there. So we're going to have to kind of generate our own emotion and make sure that we're playing at our best to be successful come Saturday. A lot riding on it.
And I'm talking about, you mentioned a lot riding on it. You guys are the top dog in the conference now, and you were there earlier, lost it, now you're back on top of the conference. How much responsibility is having that top spot in the conference, and how much of a motivational tool do you use that top spot in the conference?
Well, we're right where we want to be, first of all. And we said back in August that, hey, with 2 games to go, you're going to be 1 game up. I think everybody would have said, you bet, we'll take that. But now the job is we must finish it. Okay, we have put ourselves in this position, and it's a compliment to our players that we are in this position. Where others have stumbled, we haven't stumbled as much, and that's given us a conference lead going into these final 2 games. So now our mission is we must finish this, and it starts with Simon Frazier. Again, a difficult trip, difficult place to play, quality opponent, with a very potent offense. A lot of things. We're going to have to be at our best, but it certainly beats being in a situation where you have to rely on other teams to do something to give you that chance. It's fully in our hands. We know that. There is a responsibility that comes with that, but there's also an excitement that say, hey, let's go out. We've got a chance to do something very, very special, and our players are excited about that opportunity, and certainly we know that Simon Frazier is going to do everything they can to try and spoil it. But if we've learned anything over the course of this season, looking at scores and other opponents, any team can beat any other team on any given Saturday. That we know, and so we know we have to be at our best, play like we have played to be successful. And certainly that's our plan as we move forward through the week.
Thank you so much, Coach.
One of the guys on Saturday who had a big impact was a local guy, Silas Levin.
You bet, yeah.
I mean, how pleased have you been with his progress, not only since he came into the program a couple years ago, but just this season to get into rotation and make an impact?
Silas has done a great job for us, and I think if you would have talked to Silas back in August, he'd be absolutely shocked that he's had in the role that he's in. He started, I don't know how many games now for us, but is having an impact in that role as a starter, and it is so nice to see. As a guy that doesn't say a whole lot, just works very, very hard. We had his brother Casey a year ago, similar, just one of those workman-like type individuals, having grown up on the farm and such. And so they know what hard work's all about, and it's so nice to see players like that, good people, get rewarded as Casey did last year, having the year he had. Now Silas having the impact he is having. That was absolutely his best game as a Lumberjack Saturday night in a huge setting at home. I'm sure a lot of family and friends watching him play. So, and just a sophomore, and I think that's one thing that really excites me and a lot of us involved with this. Is when you talk about a Silas Sarvinsky, you're talking about a sophomore, Ryan Moreno, just a freshman, and Casey Mintz, just a redshirt freshman. A lot of young players having an impact early on.
There we go. Thank you, Coach.
Okay.